Ishmaya, we are going to be learning about the midah of Hod. Hod, splendor, submissiveness, making room for others, receiving, a whole bunch of different words. But let's see what the book says. B'ezrat Hashem b'yam Darkecha on Sefirat Omer. מידת ההוד עניינה ודרך פעולתה לגלות את האמת הפנימית בתוך החיצוניות. The way of Hod and the way it acts in the world is to reveal the truth, the internal truth, also externally. וכאשר הפנימיות מתגלה וקורנת מתוך החיצוניות, when the internal aspect is revealed and starts to shine its rays through the cracks of the externalities, אזי יש בזה יופי מיוחד ומרומם. Then there's some specific, special beauty to this that's loftier than most beauties. והוא יופי הנקרא הוד. This beauty is called the hod. כלשון הפסוק הוד והדר. The pasuk says hod והדר, splendor and beauty. כי יופי אמיתי, true beauty, הוא תוצאה של דבר פנימי גבוה ונעלם. It's a result of a very lofty, hidden, internal idea. שמעט ממנו מתגלה ביופי החיצוני. That a little bit of that is revealed externally. והפנימי הוא זה שנותן לחיצוניות עומק מיוחד ומאיר. The internal aspect is what gives the external aspect this little bit of a deeper beauty to it, a special, more unique light to it. כאשר השם יתברך מתנהג במידת ספירת ההוד, when Hashem acts with the midah of Hod, and he rules over the creation and creates and brings down shefa of the light in the way that is completely hod, meaning שהוא משפיע ומנהיג באופן שהאמת הפנימית, he rules in a way that the internal truth, שיש בורא לעולם, that there is a creator to the world, תהיה ניכרת מתוך המעשים והעניינים החיצוניים, that will be recognized within the external aspect of the world, within everything that we're going through in life. We'll be able to see this internal beautiful truth is that there's a creator to the world. And by way of this, everyone has to admit to the truth that there is a creator to the world, and to be grateful to the creator for all of his actions in the world. This is the midah of Hod, the midah that reveals the internal truth. When the internal truth of the creator is revealed as right? When the internal truth that there is a creator is revealed externally in the world, that's what's called Hod. What is the idea of Hod? Internal beauty that is revealed by way of an external object. The internal aspects, it sounds like we're repeating, but we're going to get a little bit deeper. The internal aspect is what gives the beauty to the external. When you see this object, this physical external object, see this special beauty inside of it, beyond what it is externally, right? A beautiful painting or whatever it is. What is it? It's canvas and it's oil and whatever it is, right? But there's something more special here. Even though we see it externally, it's clear to us though that the feeling that we're getting, the special beauty that I see in this external thing, it has to be that it's from something more internal, a bit more internal, meaningful beauty that is being revealed right now by way of the external thing. For example, kirun or panim, the continents on a person's face, right? This you look at a person and their face is glowing, their face is shining, like it was for Moshe Rabbeinu, right? It said ki karan o panei Moshe. The face of Moshe Rabbeinu was like radiant lights, rays of light coming off. That's Hod. There was light that was revealed externally. People could see with their own flesh, right? They could see with their eyes that this was the state. But the main aspect is that Moshe was showing off, not in a negative sense, but like giving off, right? This and revealing this internal beauty. Right? Moshe's face was revealing the fact that the Shekhinah was dwelling on Moshe Rabbeinu. That's why there's people that had awe to even approach Moshe Rabbeinu, because the Shekhinah, they could see by way of the amount of light he had on his face that the Shekhinah was completely emanating out of his face. Right? Right? This is this revelation of a deeper emanation of this beautiful Shekhinah coming out of a person's or any physical object. This is the aspect of Hod. When this is revealed, it causes the outcome of experiencing Hod, internal beauty that's been revealed on the external, is that you have to admit to the truth. You can't ignore the external aspect. Right? This light is revealed this internal light is being revealed externally, so you can't even ignore it. You can't say that it doesn't exist. And the creation is filled with this. For example, when we see a very special appearance in the creation, from the wonders of the creation, there's something beyond, right? Niagara Falls, to say. There's something beyond what you're seeing with your eyes. There's a little bit of a revelation of the greatness of Hashem, the Creator. Therefore, it's so special to see these wonders of the creation. Right? We see that special beauty. That's what's called Hod. Because it starts to radiate and emanate out a little bit of the internal truth of the creation. The light of the Creator must be B'yoter pnimiyut, in a deeper aspect. The Torah Kedusha is called Hod. Torah is called Hod. K'mo shekatuv, Tina hodecha al hashamayim. Give your splendor on the heavens. Ki haTorah hi levush leor Hashem yitbarach. The Torah is the garment for the light of Hashem. Uva mitgale oro be'olam. And by way of that garment that called the Torah, Hashem's light is revealed in the world. So when a person comes to learn Torah, their intention should be, and the fact is, if they have this intention, the internal light that is hidden inside the Torah will be revealed to you. So too in the temple there was a revelation of Hod. People saw with their actual human eyes, they saw internal beauty, godly beauty. That was revealed in a external and beautiful emotion, feeling. Therefore, the destruction of the temple, not only is it that the Shekhinah, the presence of Hashem, is in Galut, it's also a blemish on Hod, like it's written, Kol hayom daveh, right? The whole day was like this depression, this like lowliness, and that daveh is the same letter as Hod if you mix the letters around. Therefore, Hod is from one of the more applicable action-oriented midot, meaning that it's one that causes actions. When I come to make a decision, right? When I come to make a decision to do an action, it causes, if I work with Hod causes that my decision making, before it comes out into action, that it will be aligned with the ultimate truth of Hashem, right? And therefore, right, this is what I want to reveal, the godly truth in my action. Any action that a person does is an outcome of a thought, and of a feeling, right? And then meaning this thought and this emotion that I have, they cause me to go out and do some kind of action in the world. Sometimes though, the decisions of the brain and of the heart, it's not according to the internal truth, right? It doesn't align with what Hashem wants. This is where Hod comes in. The job of Hod is to match the decision and to straighten it out according to the ultimate truth. And when you have a thing that's matching the truth, it has a special beauty to it, a special grace to it, that is now revealed externally, and this is what's called the midah of Hod. Okay? So what is the work that we have to do in Hod? The work that we have to do in Hod right now is to admit the truth. When Hashem Yitbarach starts to bring this light of Hod down on a person, and they have the light of Hashem on them, as it's revealed by way of the midah of Hod, then this godly light gives the person the ability to recognize the internal truth in everything external that he's experiencing in life. Right? This is the internal work of this midah of Hod, to recognize and to be grateful and to admit to the be'emet ha'amitit, and the truest of truths, that everything is only done by way of Hashem. Person has no power to do anything by themselves. This book is B'yam Darkecha, and we're in a parak about the midah of Hod in the back of the book. In a deeper sense, to admit that there is no true reality besides Hashem, because Hashem is the life force of the whole entire creation, and Hashem is bringing it into existence at any given moment. This world has no reality by itself at all. Hashem is everything and there's nothing besides Him. Another additional branch that breaks off of the work of Hod is akarat hatov v'hoda'ah, being grateful for the good that was done for you, and expressing that. By way of a person recognizing everything at its core and where it's rooted, then you won't ignore whoever gave you something. You're grateful to him, and you hold it you hold him. I owe you one, as they say. The practical work of the midah of Hod is, since I recognize the truth so much, no matter what happens to me, I'm going to straight away admit and be grateful to Hashem and know that it's all from Him. I'm going to act according to this truth, and I'm not going to get angry, and I'm not going to be sorry, and I'm not going to be troubled, and I'm not going to be scared. So too with anything good that happens to us. Straight away say thank you Hashem. That He is the source of all the good in the world. We're not going to be holding this and giving the credit to anything else. The completion of the midah of Hod is that we'll do our actions in this world from a recognition, a simple, natural recognition on the internal truth. Meaning that we'll merit to remember that the Hashem is the real doer, and this will be recognized in our actions. The whole entire aspect, all the work in the midah of Hod is truth, meaning to guard the truth and to act according to truth in all aspects of life. This is the depth of the midah of Hod, to reveal the truth and to not at all ignore it. There's a special thing with this in Netzach and Hod. Netzach and Hod are rooted in the depths of our soul. And because of this, so too in a time when a person doesn't have the intellect and the feeling, and and he's confused, so too even then he's going to continue to act according to these midot, these traits, because it's rooted in your nature. From the power of Hod, you're able to continue to hold on to your service of Hashem, that you're not going to fall. Right? Even at a time that you're not feeling it in your heart. Because when you have awe that's rooted into you so much that it's revealed by way of Hod, that the internal aspect of the era that you have is revealed in your actions outwards, then the clarity of the truth holds you strong to continue to work and serve Hashem, even when it's very, very, very hard for you. So how do we elevate the light of Hod that's fallen? The light of Hod sometimes fallen, right? There's a sur mira of every midah. There's a thing to avoid in every single midah. And it's to overcome falseness. It's to overcome sheker in the world. Specifically to get over being pulled to this chen shel sheker, this finding grace in people, sucking up to people, trying to find favor in the eyes of people. I'm going to just explain that really quick before we go on. Kegon yofi chitzoni shel bgadim. Clothing, for example. External fashion. Kasher eno yofi mishemigale kedusha, right? When it's something that's not revealing sanctity. Even though it might be that you're tsanua, you're wearing clothes that are not forbidden, and it's not there's no prohibition to think that clothing is important. The beauty that you see in clothing is beauty and grace of vanity, of nonsense. A true Jew needs to push these things away, to not give any importance to fashion and things like that. Not only clothing. All these different things of vanity. Like things that are words that they sound beautiful but really they're empty. Empty wisdoms that have no real meaning to them, no depth to them, no inner beauty to them. And the general principle is, whatever the empty people consider to be beautiful and amazing and splendor, that's a defilement of Hod. Right? If it's fashionable, if it's in pop culture, most likely it's vanity and it's nonsense. If the klipa, if the forces of evil, the husks of this world, think that thing is important and special, it's a clear sign that it's empty and vanity. It's beauty that doesn't express anything. This kind of beauty is a blemish in Hod. Hod is a beauty that does reveal and does express internal aspects. The only true beauty that you have is beauty that reveals inner truth. This was what the Greeks, the blemish of the Greeks. They had a blemish in Hod. What's the Greek society? The body, the arts, wisdom that doesn't really lead you anywhere. Right? This is the beauty of Yefet. Right? Only when the external beauty comes to service and to reveal and to elevate something that is internal, only then is it an important thing. When the beauty doesn't show anything, but it's just about itself, the clothing is clothing because of the clothing, that's a lie. Right? Hashem gave the beauty to Yefet, and he dwells in the tents of Shem. The rectification of the beauty of Yefet, it's only when it's in the tents of Shem. It's only when it's within the Torah. Then the external beauty will reveal an inner truth. Then not only is it a bad thing, it's even a more important thing, right? The rabbi should be dressed properly, dressed nicely, with honor and with respect. The synagogue should be a beautiful place. When the thing is done in order to elevate the beauty that is inside, the truth of Hashem, then even more so it should be beautiful. But when it's just for the externalities, that's nonsense. We don't want that. Anything that arouses inside a person a desire, a will towards vanity, towards nonsense, towards sheker, and this pull towards false beauty, this is God's light that's coming down to a person in the midah of Hod. This light was sent to a person to wake them up, to give them the ability to overcome and to be able to admit to the truth in all of the works of Hod. But since our sins, power was given to the klipot to cover it up, to conceal this light, and to completely put a garment around it in a way that it seems as if the evil sides have this vanity, this nonsense thing that doesn't have any importance inside of it. There is the real beauty. And then instead of the light coming down to a person in a clear way, the Yehudi that from heaven they're giving you the ability right now to hold on to the truth. Instead of that, it gets concealed and covered up into a garment until it appears to the person as if this pull towards vanity, or ratzon leshaker, or a desire to tell a lie and to change from the truth. Where's the way to rectify it? Right? First things first, get over the desire to lie, get over lies, get over vanity, get over the falseness of this world that only appears beautiful but has nothing inside. Then only separate yourself from them, ignore them, change your thoughts, change your business, change your whatever it is that's pulling you to these things. Straight away when you manage to overcome it and to run away from these things, straight away go into increasing in your heart loyalty to Hashem, and to be grateful and to admit an immense power of the truth, that everything is only Hashem, and only Hashem is the truth, and strengthen in your heart this truth, that only the grace of the light of Hashem, that is the only true beauty, that is the only true grace in the world. To appreciate it, to take it. This is the only true beauty that has some kind of purpose in this world. This chen you can see on the people that serve Hashem, in their face, in their actions, and in the way they speak. This is the chen that you need to appreciate. Your soul takes pleasure from this kind of beauty, this kind of grace that comes off the face of the Talmidei Chachamim, people that serve Hashem. And you have to have a desire for this and aspirations to try to get that kind of chen. The servants of Hashem, the people that are working and serving Hashem, that try to nullify themselves to Hashem in truth, as a Shechina shora alehem, then the Shechina comes and dwells upon them, and then in all of their actions they have a revelation that Hashem is dwelling with them. Right? So too, included in this is the clothing that is accepted by the holy people of Am Yisrael, specifically the clothing of Shabbat. That is the chen and the yofi shel kol inyanei tashmishei kedusha. So too, all of the ideas of tools that we have for holiness, a menorah, a challah board, whatever it might be, it's for the honor of Shabbat. We have to put importance on these things. This should be the beauty that you'll seek out. All the nonsense of the non-Jews, that you should be putting it down in your heart, very much so. You should be not trying to take that thing as important. Because it's vanity, it's nonsense. But not only does it not have anything in it really, for sure it doesn't have a purpose. It doesn't really even have an existence in the world. Right? Today it's in fashion, tomorrow it's gone, it's out of fashion. It's not a real beauty that's going to last. It's not revealing anything. It's just, it switches with the times. The word of Hashem will be in existence forever. Inner grace of truth that has taste and has good for the whole entire world. What's the yichud? The unification is the nikud of Hod is Yudke Vavke with kubuts, the three diagonal dots. Diagonal, right? When a person wants to arouse midah of Hod, have intention this name. While you're thinking this name in your brain, arouse in your heart the feelings of appreciating, admitting the truth, the godly truth, and being thankful to Hashem for all of His immense loving kindness that He brings down to us. And by way of thinking on this holy name, you will have the light of Hod start to come down on you, and it will help you to arouse in you the ability of Hod, of inner beauty, of truth in your soul, more and more. And this Yichud is able to arouse inner feeling of inner truth and to strengthen it, and it also helps you to get away from being pulled towards vanity and nonsense that has the feeling of that desire towards it that has come into you. Straight away, when you feel a desire towards falseness or some kind of vanity, some kind of empty thing, straight away go into the work of the Midah of Hod, to strengthen the fire of loyalty to Hashem, and to admit that only Hashem is the truth. And from that, have in complete intention in your mind on this holy name. Right? There's another part here of Netzach and Hod. Just like the midah of gvura, right, of strength, of limitations, constricts the flow of chesed that's coming down to the world, of loving kindness. So too, the midah of Hod limits and constricts the midah of Netzach. Because Netzach, the idea is to be victorious and to do with all of my might, above all logic, above reason. Hod takes that Netzach, that power and that ability to push forward. That Netzach should be only according to the truth and not more than my ability. For example, a person bought a table for his house, and now he wants to bring it up to his house. He wants to move his furniture, but he's not successful. Why? Because the stairs are very narrow and the table is very big. The thought and the feeling that I need this table, this pushes him to go, I need to go out and I need to elevate and I need to put this table in my house. Right? Specifically the midah of Netzach that's in you, which is the power of persistence and tenacity. I'm going to be successful. From that, a person can be ready to do anything. Main thing, I have to get done what I'm thinking to get done. I have to get this table in my house. That's Netzach. On one side, that's good. Right? It's not good to have despair and to be weak in this world. But on the other side, you should only be tenacious and persistent on a proper measure. You don't want to break the table. So comes the midah of Hod. And it says, let's admit the truth. What is impossible to do? That I'm not going to try to break my head to do. And what is possible? And then a person puts in the extra effort and that push, only according to the truth that I see, the truth that's inside of the reality that's in front of me. So what does Midat HaHod do? It comes to take my actions so they'll be aligned with the truth. Specifically all the decisions that you make, and even more specifically the decisions that come from a way of Netzach. When you're trying to push and be persevering and to be tenacious and to be stubborn in your ways for a good reason, right? Hod comes and says, no, wait, hold on, let's check right now. What can we do? What's possible? What's impossible? And let's apply our effort. Now we're going to bring a more internal example. A person wants to do an action for the sake of heaven. He wants to put together a book in order to, bring the masses closer to Hashem. And he puts a lot of effort into this. He's pushing. He has all these different obstacles and distractions and things that are delaying him. On one side, I'm not allowed to have despair, and I have to push forward. On the other side, I have to admit the truth. Hashem is running everything. Everything is dependent on Hashem. Sometimes from so much of a desire to do good, even if they're good, right? So much desire, but even if they're good desires, Adam shochech et ha'emet ha'pnimit. A person comes to forget the internal truth. Shakol rak Hashem yitbarach oseh ve'adam eno poel me'uma. Hashem is doing everything. You're not even really doing anything. Vimu shochech et zeh upogem be'emuna. If you forget the fact that Hashem is the doer of everything and everything only happens by way of Him, then, right, it's a blemish in the emunah, and all of your actions won't be improper. They won't be aligned with the truth. Aval im midat hod mitukenet itzlo. If the midah of hod is rectified by you, u'yida be'bihirut, you will know with clarity. She'en tam lidchok et hashah. There's no purpose. There's no point in me pressing right now and trying to push too hard. I have to do the effort that is normal, that is fitting, right? Extra effort, but I have to push, but not too much. And to let Hashem run the rest of the show, according to what He wants to do. Midah, the hod is kind of like the admin over our actions, right? I said this is according to the truth, this is according to the truth, this is according to the truth. Right? That hod allows us to stay on the truth and to not move away from it too much. So now we get to what the left tries to talk about a lot, the nonsense of the left, tikkun olam, right? The rectification of the world. But let's see what the pnimiyut and the chachamim, l'chaim, what they have to say of tikkun bria, the rectification of the creation. Tikkun hod, rectifying hod, hu yikar tikkun shel bria. It's the main rectification of the creation. Ki yikar chet Adam harishon haya pigam midat hod. The main blemish of what the sin of Adam was a blemish in the midah of hod. Mashe dachak et hasha'ah. He pushed the time. Like it's explained in Arizal. Meaning, he didn't wait for the instructions of Hashem. He wanted to fix the whole world, and from that desire of wanting to fix the world without waiting for Hashem's instruction, he did his actions. In a very fine hidden way. There is in there a hint of this feeling in his actions that I'm the doer and I want to fix.
Who is this?
Adam and Rishon.
Okay.
And that was a blemish. This is the blemish that destroyed the temple. Right? All day long it was just depression, it's just bad. That's written in Lamentations. Right? And that dava is the letters hod. A blemish of hod has the worst thing possible. The inside there. What is the blemish of hod? Forgetting Hashem. It's possible that a person is going to keep halacha 100% and all of his actions are aligned. But everything is blemished. He forgot Hashem, blessed be He, and he's only completely in his success and in himself. That's what matters to him. And he completely forgot Hashem. And the truth is, a person has to have aspirations and to try very hard. אבל בפועל לנהוג לפי מה שהשם יתברך מורה לו, בין בהוראות התורה הקדושה ובין במה שהוא רואה שהשם יתברך מנהיג אותו במציאות החיים. The truth is, though, the most internal truth is, with all your desires and with all the good that you want to do in the world, a person has to act according to what the Torah says, which is Hashem's will, right? To give in and to admit that there's a Torah. And not only according to what the Torah allows you and doesn't allow you to do, but also according to what you see with your eyes that Hashem is showing you. Sometimes Hashem closes a bunch of doors for you. You have to give in to that reality. Sometimes Hashem's opening doors for you and you don't want to go through them. You have to give in to the reality. But also it has to be aligned with Torah. A person has to say, I admit to the unification of Hashem, and from this ability, this power, I'm going to go and do all these actions in the world. From a recognition that Hashem Yitbarach is the one that's doing everything, and He is everything, and I'm only expressing this outwards. When a person lives like this, שהוא רוצה לעשות, אבל הכל מתוך הכרה שהשם יתברך הוא העושה, ואני רק מגלה את רצונו. That you go out and you want to do actions, but from a place of recognition that Hashem Yitbarach, Hashem, blessed be He, is the one that's doing all of the actions, and I'm just revealing His will. אזי לא יישבר אם לא מצליחים תוכניותיו. Right? Then you're not going to be broken if your plans don't go as planned, and don't go as you set them up. ואם הוא רואה או מבין שרצון השם יתברך שהוא ירפא, and if you see or understand that Hashem's will is that you should take a step back a little bit, ולא יפעל כעת את רצונו שלו, and you shouldn't act on your will right now, אז הוא לא דוחק את השעה לומר חייב לעשות מה שרציתי. Right? Then you're not going to push the time and say, I have to do what I wanted to do. כי אפילו אם רצון הוא באמת לשם שמיים. Because even if your will is for sure for the sake of heaven, it's completely for the sake of heaven. מכל מקום צריך הכל לעשות מתוך הכנעה לרצון השם יתברך. Everything has to be done from a place of bitul, a place of nullifying myself to Hashem's will. שזה נקרא הוד. This is called הוד. להודות שהשם יתברך הוא העושה והוא הכל ואני איני צד בעניין. What is hod? Recognizing and admitting to the fact that Hashem Yitbarach is the one that's doing everything. He is everything, and I don't even have any say in the matter. V'af shani maleh tshuka, even though I'm filled with yearning and passion, כי אני רוצה לעבוד את השם יתברך, אבל סוף סוף התשוקה שלי, because I want to serve Hashem, but in the end all be all, my passion is to do the will of Hashem. ממילא מה שהוא עושה לי, אני שמח בזה. So then, whatever Hashem is going to do for me, I'm happy with the outcome of that. Right? So what is the midah of hod? Midah of hod, as a summary, allows us to align all of our actions with the truth. When we come to do an action, we have a desire to do that action, usually it's coming from a place rooted in netzach, of perseverance, of tenacity, of trying to go out and to bring something into the world that's going to last. And that power can give this ability to push through and to do amazing things in this world. But it can also break a lot of things if it's not done according to the ultimate truth. So we have to give into the ultimate truth, the will of Hashem, and that's revealed to us in two different ways. One way is what's written in the Torah, halacha, what are we allowed to do, what are we not allowed to do, when are we allowed to do it. Sometimes we're not allowed to do the thing now, like on Shabbat, I can't write a book. Right? On Sunday I could write a book, on Shabbat I can't do that. Right? But it's not against the Torah to write a book. These are good things. Right? Even if you have a good will, it has to be aligned with the truth of what's written in the Torah, and also with the fact of what is Hashem showing you right now in your life. Sometimes beyond what's written in the Torah, just in life, we see that there's situations where Hashem is allowing us to do certain things or trying to prevent us to do certain things. We have to act according to that all the time when we're making decisions to go out and do actions in the world. And this is where hod is. To try to run away from vanity, to try to run away from fashion, cars, importance on things that are nonsensical, that don't have any deep meaning to them. No inner beauty is revealed by way of them. And if the thing does reveal an inner beauty, then even more so that beauty is important and should be invested in, like a synagogue, like holy clothing, clothing for Shabbat, menorah, a kiddush cup, sidur, anything that is coming to reveal a deeper truth, a deeper beauty, the beauty of Hashem, the creator of the world in this world. That is beauty that we should invest in. Anything that is not that, or anything that you see the klipa, the evil forces, and not to compare, but also the non-Jews that don't have Torah, anything that they give importance to and put a lot of effort in elevating in society, for the Jew in his heart, he should be putting those things down and focusing more on Torah and mitzvot, and that is exactly how you can do it. The yichud for this name again is Yudke Vavke with a kubutz, which is 3 diagonal lines, which will help you to not only arouse the power of truth in your heart, to admit to the will of Hashem, to be grateful to the will of Hashem, and to be grateful for all of His actions in this world, but it will also help you to remove yourself from vanity in this world and things that have no importance. May we all be blessed in the midah of hod. Amen v'amen.